For Hoopa, here we go. Basic attack is boosted every third, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon by unleashing a beam of light. When Hoopa is unbound, unleashes beams of light with every base attack, dealing damage to up to 2 nearby Pokemon. Oh, okay, sweet. So, splits. Magician, in battles where the map is divided into an ally team side and an opposing team side, this ability creates a hole under one of the berries on the opposing team side, chosen at random, and warps it right in front of Hoopa. That's insane. If there are no berries on the opposing team side, but there is Eos energy on the ground, then some energy is warped in front of Hoopa instead. In the event that no berries from the opposing team were warped, the cooldown until this ability's next use is reduced. Oh, that's cool. Now, is that automatic, or how do we use that? Alright. So, Astonish. Deals damage to Pokemon in the designated area, leaving them unable to act. So that's pretty good. Then Phantom Force and Shadow Ball. So we're going to go for Phantasmal Force. User creates a ring under itself and warp to the designated location, dealing damage to nearby Pokemon at that location and shoving them. Okay. Hoopa then shoots sinister flames that deal damage to opposing Pokemon they hit, decreases their movement speed for a short time. This move is used again within a set amount of time. User returns to the initial location it warped from. Ally Pokemon that are linked by Trick can also warp to the initial ring's location. When they do so, they recover HP. Oh, super support. Okay. Makes the user invincible for a short time when the move is used. Oh, that's really cool. Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is cool, but it's just like damage. Shadowy Blob deals damage, reduces enemies' movement speed and special defense if you hit with the same opposing Pokemon with a move or attack within a set amount of time, deals additional damage to the opposing Pokemon and leaves them unable to act for a short time. When using this move, if there is a nearby ally Pokemon linked by Trick, this move will also unleash a Shadowy Blob at the same target from that ally's location. The Shadowy Blob will now explode before it disappears. Opposing Pokemon hit by the explosion are affected as if they were hit by the Shadow Blob itself. Okay. So we're going to do Phantom Force. Confusion. Telekinetic Force in a direction, dealing damage to the first Pokemon it hits. The force clings to that Pokemon and that causes a delayed explosion. The explosion deals damage to opposing Pokemon and the area effect decreases their movement speed. That's pretty cool. Like a Zillion Bomb, right? Hyperspace Hole or Trick. Hyperspace Hole. Large ring, designated location, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area effect. After some amount of time, Hoopa and any ally Pokemon in the area effect will return to their base, and their movement speed will be increased for a short time. Ally Pokemon that return to their base in this manner must wait a short time before the HP recovery from being in their base triggers. The ally Pokemon can also warp back to where the ring was created. An intact ally forward goal can also be designated as the location where the large ring is created. Creating the ring on the forward goal zone of the top path will also create a ring on the forward goal of the bottom path and vice versa. All allied Pokemon, including Hoopa, that can use these rings to warp between the two goal zones, and their movement speed will be increased for a short time after warping. After an allied Pokemon warps, there's a set cooldown before the ally can use these rings again. Okay, so this is the one where you can jump between top and bottom lane. Trick. Hoopa creates a link between itself and an allied Pokemon using a ring, increasing both their movement speeds and granting them each a shield for a short time. When Hoopa uses Shadow Ball, performs a basic attack, the ring link Pokemon also unleashes the same move or attack. Oh, so she's like Karma. Hoopa can also use this move on itself, increasing Hoopa's movement speed and granting itself a shield for a short time. Additionally, it increases the damage dealt by Shadow Ball. Also restores the linked ally Pokemon's HP when deals damage to opposing Pokemon. Okay, this is cool. And you're saying Trick basically gives you and an ally your AoE speed and lets you do an attack through the ally as well, so it's like 3 attacks instead of 2. When using Trick, you and your ally can recall to your point of origin with that Phantasmal. Okay, so then let's see. And shoving them. By the time returns to initial location work from. And also warp to the initial ring's location when they do they recover HP. Okay, that's cool. So Trick is cool. Hyperspace Hole seems cool if you need to swap lanes a lot though. So, and that's a dash. That's kind of neat. But we'll use Trick. We'll use a recommendation. And so Unite moves Ring Unbound. Transforms the user into Hoopa Unbound for a short time, increasing your max HP and creating a ring at the designated location. Each ally can warp to the ring's location only once. As Hoopa Unbound, the user's moves change to Hyperspace Fury and Psybeam. As Hoopa Unbound, the user cannot score goals or activate its ability. Okay. So it looks like we want to have those. Now, what held items would we want to go for? So you want XP share. It looks like Vanguard Bell might not be the way. Shell Bell? Because you're not doing a ton. Like, that's one thing is, like, weirdly, I think I kind of want to build, like, more basic attack, right? Like, if you're not really doing a lot of damage with your moves, I feel like it'd be better to do basic attacks, right? So if we do Phantom Force, Hyper is good, and it lets you port home and then back, basically doing a full heal at anyone who went home. See, that is good, right? And when people know what Hoopa is doing, that's really good. Alright, initial location. Yeah, so we're not doing much damage. We'll return to their base, move, alright. Hyperspace Hole, so Trick. Ally Pokemon, both their movement speed and granted with shield. Performs a basic attack. So that's what's funny is, like, I think I want to run Hoopa with, like, more basic attack because we're not using any, let's see. Spoon. Which one is Spoon? Do I have Spoon? What does Slick Spoon do? Makes damage dealt by your Pokemon's special attack, ignore, or defense. Ooh. Maybe, but I feel like I don't have that leveled up. So let's see if using Brain Crown or Floatstone. You know what? Floatstone, because if we're a support and we want to be moving around a lot, I think that's what we want to take. Basic attack, speed attack. So that's cool, and I think... Yeah, I appreciate it. So, right, so here we're going to try Hoopa for the first time. They seem pretty interesting, but a bit different. So the basic attack will cause like a big burst, and then when you're in your ultimate move, it's like it's always that burst attack, and then it's targeting 2 Pokemon at once. Magician is cool because it'll suck a berry from the enemy team in front of you. Astonish is a hindrance, leaving them unable to act, but then we're going to go with Phantasmal Force. So we create a ring under, when we warp to a location, we deal damage in that location and we shove them. You shoot Sinister Flames that deal damage to opposing Pokemon they hit and decreases their movement speed for a short time. Okay, so this is a damage and it's a dash. Okay. Is this move used again with the same amount of time? User returns initial location. So since it shoves them, I would say Vanguard Bell might be pretty good there. And so Hyperspace Hole. So then next ability is Confusion, dealing damage, and it clings and it's a delayed explosion. And then Trick, it's a buff, shields, and then movement speed. Increases Shadow Ball, but we're not comboing Shadow Ball. Linked HIP when dealing damage. Linked Pokemon's HP is restored when deal damage to opposing Pokemon. Alright, Magician is on a cooldown. It's clutch to keep your teammates in the fight. Okay, that's cool. Agreed. Speed is your best ally. Anything you can. And so then we use the Unite move. Rings Unbound. Alright, and then, yeah, transforms you. Makes your abilities do, like, tons of damage. Psybeams, using, like, score goals, though. Alright, so we're doing the float stone. Okay, basic attack hits 3% of its damage, so maybe we want to swap that to shell bow. No, doesn't seem quite like the way to go. Respects. Choice scarf. Ooh, maybe we'll do that. Yeah, maybe no. Attack, movement speed, movement speed. And I mean, we're taking all the movement speed here, so HP, attack, basic attack speed. Alright, we'll try this. Now, so one of our first times trying Hoopa, we'll try like a janky held items, but we're going for all movement speed, some HP, some attack, some basic attack speed. Because we do a little bit of damage with our one ability, but it looks like we're mostly going to be like supporting with our basic attack. So we've got this going, and I'd say let's get going. And since we're doing, even though they're labeled as special attack, but we're doing a like reverse build, we're still going to use the like HP upgrade, the movement speed upgrade, and the attack upgrade emblem set that we have, right? So a little bit of defense, a little bit of HP, big attack increase right there. And since we're supporting, we're just hanging back, we're mostly just going to be throwing our like basic attack on people while we're supporting our teammates. This might end up working out the best. Now let's hit start and let's just see what happens. Yo, I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot, Panda. Like, because I was just trying to think, like, well, what are Hoopa's strengths, right? And like, what are the things that would get the most benefit? And like, I think right now that's probably like the best way, because yeah, well, you know, when we use our ultimate, we'll get a bunch of extra abilities and attack damage, like, or special attacks to use. But the other side too is when we use our ultimate, it upgrades our basic attack to be our maximum version with the beam, and then it splits onto 2 champions. So like right now it seems like mostly running pure support ability moves and then running a heavy basic attack might end up working out the best for Hoopa. Especially like the idea of being like way support, like, because I don't play a ton of like pure support characters. Nothing against them, like they're kind of fun, but I just know if I go into like casual games and do solo queue, basically, I know that it's better if I do an all-rounder so I have the most ability to change the course of the battle for our team. You like that you're talking it through for most people to learn, makes it people fully understand instead of just following a build guide. I appreciate that, right? Because that's the big thing, is what's the mentality? Like, what's your reasoning for wanting to take these different moves, right? Like, because as long as you have a good justified reason, you can like do like so many different styles of a champion. I appreciate that, and that's what I like. I like trying to teach people. I like getting people to understand, because that's the thing. Like, you can follow a guide, and like maybe that guide is good, but that guide is good for someone who's like really high tier play and has played like 1,000 games already, and they know a lot of things just like so much more in depth because they have that time. Here it's more like, hey, like, you know, there's these different champions. You'll see some are strong, some are like recommended picks, you know, like why. And the idea of like, you know, if it's an expert level champion, right? Like, even when you highlight it, it says Hoopa's an expert level champion. So from there, you're just knowing that you're not going to be, it's not as easy as Blastoise where you just run in and you tank it and you CC people. Hoopa does a lot of counterplay, and you'll see that the choices you make and how to support your teammate will end up being very important, right? So let's go here. Oh, and we're doing chunks, dude. Like, that's a pretty good basic attack for the support. Like, we're gonna be helping out a lot. All right, you agree? You play semi-tank, aggressive, wiggly, tough, and wouldn't believe how much that throws people off the comp. Yeah, like, that was the same thing I did with Venusaur. Like I go like lifesteal melee build Venusaur, and there's so many people that are like, what is going on here? Because they'll try to jump on you thinking that you're squishy Venusaur, but no, dude, you're taking so much like damage. Ooh, here we go. Oh, Absol, get out of here. Get out of here. Yo, we're poking him. All right, let's go. And our movement speed is really good. Movement speed's like really good here. Oh, okay. So we click on the left stick in order to get a berry. Okay. All right, this is where we'll probably take it back. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, dude. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so I'm buffing a teammate. Yo, there we go. That's pretty sweet. That was good. That's supporty. Now let's see here. Try sticking with that trick circle. It doesn't go away. Ah, okay, so stand in the circle. All right, so we just got Phantasmal Force. Let's see. Ooh, okay, so I don't know exactly how that one works. Oh, okay, wait. So Magician will teleport us too? Oh, wow, so there's like a lot Hoopa does. Okay, I don't know. There we go, there we go. Okay, so that's the teleport. Okay, so stay in that trick circle. Okay, so trick is our buff. Okay, cool. That's really high support though. Like we're doing a whole lot. That's good. There we go. Okay, okay, we're getting the hang of this. Yeah, so Hoopa does a lot. Hoopa is like very different, but this is pretty cool. So let's see, can we get a score? Let's score. There we go. Okay, and then let's see if we can get Mr. Mime. There we go. Okay. Alright, let me get out of here. Berry? Cool. Points. There we go. Alright, cool. So we softened them up. Our 80 carry came in, took care of everything. Alright, cool. Oh, cool. Okay. Ah, so I can like double tap. Okay, so Hoopa's really good for interrupting a team fight. For basically like you get to... There we go. Alright, cool. I like that. Sweet. Alright, cool. So we got a goal down here. Alright, let's see if we can dunk 40 points. Yo, we got that 40 dunk, dude. Alright, then we can move around. Alright, cool. So our Phantom Force is really good because we get to basically go in and interrupt a team fight, and then we can teleport back to where we were. So we take away people's like aggression, and then here we are, we're using our superpower move, our side beam and things like that. So at the very least, alright, we got a KO. We got a KO. And we went big and beefy, so we took a lot of damage and we saved our teammate. So that was pretty cool. I'd say let's go back now, and I'll probably try to go to the top team. So yeah, very high level play. Hoopa's very high level play. Like you have to be paying attention to like everything and be very aware of like the moveset too. But that's not bad. Like it's just so different. But the fact that you get to interrupt a team fight and then like get out of that team fight is actually pretty cool. And in fact, you can steal a berry is like really, really cool. If it's not a berry, you get some like energy. That's really, really sweet, honestly. And the ultimate move is really cool because then you're like Gnar. You're able to take care of a lot of that stuff. Oh, okay, I gotta get out of here. They can jump on me. There we go. Oh, that was a play, right? So interrupting their enemy team is really good, right? Cool, they're gonna get me. There we go. Yo, down to the last second with that Rodon, buddy. That's good, that's good, that's good. Oh, and your Unite move is up pretty often, so let's see. But this is the first time I've seen a champion where you have like an extra move with the Magician, where you click your button and you get a whole extra like move pretty much. That's pretty cool though. So Phantom Force is good because you just interrupt a team fight and you knock back your enemy team, and then like you want to run and interrupt and then use like a boost on your teammate. Yeah, dude. That's a good chase down too. Yeah, and then we get to turn into monster, man. Yo, that's really good. Ooh, and if we can get this, oh, so we can't score while this is up. Holy crap. We're doing damage. We're doing damage. So basic attack build actually seems to be like paying off in a lot of ways. Mr. Mime is pretty beefy. Sweet. So yeah, we go in, we can interrupt the team fight, and then we just leave, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh, Hoopa's going nuts. Hoopa's nuts. Okay. Come on, come on. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Got it. Dude. Doesn't matter if I end up like falling there. Oh, whoa. My movement speed's so high and my shield gives me extra movement speed. So, like, I can legit. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Okay. So you can, like, jump out of, like, certain champions, like, moves and stuff. Yo, okay, you got me. That was solid. Okay, so if my team was coordinated, they would have ported to me and cleared that team fight. It was very confusing. We're trying to read at the same time, but the first time Hoops were doing great. I appreciate that a lot. Because he's doing he does so much different things. And the fact that you're manipulating a field or you're manipulating like a team fight is really great, but it's a lot of a different style of play, and I can see why that's like very high level, or considered high level. So let me see here. All right, Charizard. Why you do that? Right, and then aha, strong point now. Yo, holy crap, dude. Yo! Hoopa Unbound is legit. You just beat the shit out of a Charizard, dude. Alright, cool. Alright, and then use Phantasmal Force. Right. And there we go. There we go. All right, Hoopa's pretty cool. Hoopa's pretty chill. Like complicated at first, but once you understand how the different moves are occurring, and you can like use Phantasmal Force to break up a team fight and then get out, and then you use your buff just to keep your teammates buffed and stuff like that. And then you can summon a berry, right? And then when you need to, you're just there in ultimate like smash 'em form. And I think this is cool because this was going with like an opposite build, right? So going heavy on basic attack and movement speed instead of doing any special attack, really. Yeah, look, we got points, we got 7 takedowns, we got 10 assists. Our team did great, and honestly, like the enemy team was pretty challenging too. Like they weren't pushovers. So for first time Hoopa, I actually like that. I might actually play Hoopa a lot, like in the future. It's a pretty cool champion. So battle data, let's look. Yeah, so really lower on the damage side. I mean, honestly, I think we did highest damage for this game. We did like 69k when the next highest was 68k. And that was probably mostly just from our basic attack being really consistent. And then when we went to our ultimate form, just smashed him down. Damage taken was relatively high, but as we saw, we kept shielding and we would go back and we would regenerate pretty well too. So I'm surprised my damage taken is that high, to be fair. Then recovery, decent amount of recovery, not the most, but it actually was the highest recovery in the game. So we must not have seen a healer really. Yeah, neither team had a pure healer, right? So for the little bit of health you do, regenning your enemy, regenning your allies with your buff move, it does enough. And then just the movement around in a team fight, just literally like jumping in the middle of a team fight, getting enemies off of your ally, and then jumping out of that middle of that fight, it causes the enemy to not understand who they should be attacking, and it just interrupts like their intentions for a little bit. And that's honestly like a form of CC. You know, it's not an in-game like labeled CC mechanic, but that's like when you're playing against the player and you're more so interrupting what the enemy player is thinking, right? That's where I think Hoopa's biggest strength is. But I had fun. I think as far as supports, really cool, really unique.